I looked down and like screamed out really loud, like, "Ah, my guide dog's bleeding, and his paws are bleeding, his paws are bleeding." And because all around him, I could just see pools of blood.
For Kirsty James, disturbing visions are a fact of life. She's registered blind and has Charles Bonnet syndrome. The condition featured on last night's Coronation Street as Johnny finally got a diagnosis to explain away his hallucinations.
Visual hallucinations.
It's known as Charles Bonnet syndrome. It's actually quite common.
What? It makes you see cats and stuff?
Your MS is affecting your sight, which means that as your vision becomes worse, the regular messages from the eye get interrupted. The brain fills in the gaps left by your loss of sight.
It affects up to 30% of patients with visual impairment.
Professor Maria Musagi is a consultant ophthalmologist at Moorfields Eye Hospital. She treats patients with Charles Bonnet syndrome.
Charles Bonnet syndrome is where you develop visual hallucinations as a result of your sight loss. Basically, when you start to lose your vision, you have these patches where you can't see, and you get this hyperactivity of the brain, and so your brain starts to fill in those gaps with these visual hallucinations.
Research by Professor Mukherjee's team at UCL found more than half of Charles Bonnet patients had seen an increase in frequency of hallucinations during lockdown, and half of patients had seen their hallucinations become more sinister. Seeing sinister hallucinations makes lockdown even harder for people with Charles Bonnet syndrome. I spoke to Nina Chesworth, who has the condition. Can you describe what you're seeing right now?
So at the moment, I'm seeing it's a collage of colour and shapes, and then within the collage, I have eyes staring back at me, and then round the left side here. So that's all in the centre, and then round the left side, they're kind of like bubbles raising up.
Nina and Kirsty have a diagnosis to explain their hallucinations, but they worry thousands of others might not have that luxury. Charlie Haynes, BBC News.